2.1 Money 1. Verbs 1.
I'm going to inherit £2,000.
2.
I save money every week.
3.
He has promised to lend me €50.
4.
I need to borrow £20 from my mum.
5.
I often waste money.
6.
I can't afford to buy that car.
7.
The mechanic charges me £100.
8.
They cost $200.
9.
I owe Jim £100.
10.
I want to invest some money.
11.
I earn £1,000 a month.
12.
My house is worth about €200,000.
13.
We want to raise money for the new hospital.
2.2 2. Prepositions 1.
Would you like to pay cash or by credit card?
2.
I paid for the dinner last night. It was my birthday.
3.
I spent £50 on books yesterday.
4.
My uncle invested all his money in property.
5.
I don't like lending money to friends.
6.
I borrowed a lot of money from the bank.
7.
They charged us €60 for a bottle of wine.
8.
I never get into debt. I hate owing people money.
2.3 3. Nouns 1.
Bill.
2.
Salary.
3.
Tax.
4.
Loan.
5.
Budget.
6.
Mortgage.
7.
Contactless payment.
8.
Insurance.
2.4 4. Phrasal verbs 1.
I took out €200 from a cash machine.
2.
Can I pay you back the money you lent me next week?
3.
I have to live off my parents while I'm at university.
4.
It's difficult for me and my wife to live on only one salary.
2.5
Up. Done. Money. Nothing. Some. One. Worry.
Clock. Borrow. Cost. Dollar. Honest. Promise. Shopping.
Phone. Clothes. Loan. Note. Sold.
2.6
afford, mortgage, order, work, organized, store, worth.
2.7 1.
Let's go shopping for clothes.
2.
Can I borrow some money?
3.
He won $1 million.
4,
I've done nothing wrong.
5,
They can't afford to pay the mortgage.
6,
I work in a store.
2.8.
I haven't seen those shoes before. Are they new?
Yes, I've just bought them. Do you like them?
They're okay. How much did they cost?
Oh, not much. They were a bargain. Under £100.
You mean 99.99? That isn't cheap for a pair of shoes. Anyway, we can't afford to buy new clothes at the moment.
Why not?
Have you seen this?
No. What is it?
Our phone bill? It arrived this morning. And we haven't paid the house insurance yet.
Well, what about the iPad you bought last week?
What about it?
You didn't need a new one. The old one worked perfectly well.
But I needed the new model.
Well, I needed some new shoes.
2.9. 1. Past experiences.
I've inherited some money, but I haven't spent it.
Sally has never met Bill's ex-wife.
Have you ever lost your credit card?
2. Recent past actions.
I've cut my finger.
Too late. Our train has just left.
3. With yet and already.
I've already seen this film twice. Can't we watch another one?
My brother hasn't found a new job yet. He's still looking.
Have you finished your homework yet?
No, not yet.
2.10.
They got married last year.
I didn't have time to do my homework.
What time did you wake up this morning?
2.11.
I've been to Madrid twice. I went there in 1998 and 2002.
I've bought a new computer. I bought it last Saturday.
2.12.
Hello and welcome to 5 Minute Money. Today we're talking about scams and scammers. Over 3 million people a year are victims of scams in the UK, and they lose an average of £1,200 each. So we all need to know what to look out for. We're going to hear 3 listeners' stories, and for each scam, we'll explain how to stay safe. Our first story is from Heather in Edinburgh.
A few months ago, I got an email from a friend who was away in Berlin. He said he'd lost his wallet and needed money to get home. He asked me for my credit card details, and I thought, well, he needs my help, so I sent him a reply with my card number and everything. But there was no reply, and I got suspicious, and I checked my credit card, and somebody had stolen over £2,000, and of course I never got it back.
Ah, the friend abroad who needs help. But it isn't really a friend, it's a scammer who is using this friend's email account. Often this scam is obvious, either because you know your friend isn't abroad, or because the email has grammar and spelling mistakes. So always be suspicious of any strange emails from friends. The next story is from Carl in Hastings.
I got an email saying that I'd won quite a lot of money in the lottery in Spain. It looked official and some of it was in Spanish, and last year I was on a holiday in Spain and I did buy a lottery ticket, so I believed it. So I emailed back and they replied and said the easiest thing was for me to send them my bank account details and they'd pay the money direct into my bank. So I did, and I feel so stupid saying this now, and of course the next day my account was completely empty. Luckily it was the day before payday and I only had about £200 in there, but I learnt my lesson.
Yes, so again, never believe an email or message saying you've won a lottery, especially if you never bought a ticket. Our last story is from Paul in Bristol.
I just got back from work. It was about 6 o'clock, and the phone rang, and a very polite woman said it was Barclays Bank Security Division, and that there was a problem with my account. She said that somebody had tried to use my password online and that my account wasn't safe. I was in the middle of buying a flat and I thought, oh no, this sounds bad, because I had quite a lot of money in the account. She said the best solution was to transfer all the money into a new account to make sure it was safe. So she gave me an account number and an account name. It was my name. It was called Paul K. New Account, and I thanked her. And immediately after the call, I went online and transferred all my money to this new account. And that was the last time I saw it. It was a real disaster. I lost £20,000 and I couldn't buy my flat.
It's natural to cooperate if you think your bank is phoning you, but your bank will never ask you on the phone to transfer money to another account. If you get suspicious, just hang up, wait 10 minutes, then phone your bank to check if it really was them. So what's the most important thing to remember if you don't want to be the victim of a scam? Be very suspicious of strange emails from friends or from someone saying that you won a prize. And the same for phone calls from your bank. And above all, never, never give your bank account or credit card details to anybody, either in an email or on the phone, unless you are 100% sure who they really are.
.13 Part 1.
The charity Adelante Africa was started in 2008. That summer, a group of Spanish and British tourists had travelled to Uganda on safari to see the mountain gorillas. Halfway through the trip, in a small rural village called Igayaza, the lorry they were travelling in broke down. While a mechanic repaired the lorry, the group took shelter in a nearby building. It was a primary school for orphans, children without parents, but it was in terrible condition. The walls were falling down, the blackboards were broken, and there weren't many desks. But the children were wonderful, very bright and friendly. One of the tourists was a primary school teacher, and she started teaching them English songs. She was amazed at how quickly they learned. When they left, they asked the head teacher how they could help, and he said, "What we need is a new school." When the tourists arrived home from their holiday, they decided to set up a charity to raise money to rebuild the school. 2 years later, on the 14th of March 2010, the new school opened with 75 children, and since then, Adelante Africa hasn't stopped.
.14 Part 2.
I'm with Jane Cadwallader, the Secretary of Adelante Africa.
Hello.
Hi, Jane. How long have you been working with Adelante Africa?
Well, for over 10 years now, since the beginning. I was the teacher who sang songs with the children back in 2008 when the lorry broke down.
Jane, tell us what Adelante Africa has been doing since 2010, since the primary school was finished.
Well, we've done a lot. Our next major project was to build a children's home for the orphans who don't have anybody in their extended family who can look after them. The children's home has been running since 2012, and now we have 57 children there. But we also realised that if we wanted to help the local children, we really needed to help their parents too. Our primary school was beautiful, but many of the children were sick. They had malaria or malnutrition. So we started several small community projects. For example, we tried to help people to improve their diet by giving them seeds to plant a variety of vegetables. Most people in rural Uganda, you see, don't eat fruit and vegetables except what they can find growing wild. We've also been building water tanks to collect rainwater so that they have cleaner water to drink and they don't have to walk the long distances to the nearest river. And we've started a small factory to make sunflower oil, which has helped local farmers and also given some jobs to local people. Sunflower oil is much healthier than the palm oil that most people were using before, so really we've helped the whole community with this.
And are any of your new projects related to education?
Absolutely. In 2011, we started a FAL group in Igayaza. FAL stands for Functional Adult Literacy. So these are classes to teach adults, mainly women, to read and write and to speak English, which is the official language in Uganda. Since then, we've started 11 more FAL groups in other nearby villages. And our other big project is that we've just built a secondary school so that children from our primary school and the other local children can get a good secondary education. We're very proud of it. It's not quite finished yet, though. We need to raise more money in order to finish all the buildings.
And are all the volunteers, the people who work with you, from Britain and Spain?
No, not at all. There are a few of us from Europe who visit regularly, but the people who make it all possible are the Ugandan volunteers. Without them, we couldn't do anything. In the future, we hope that all the projects will be run by them.
And can you tell me about some of the children, some individual cases?
Let me think. I know a good example. John Musée. He's a boy, an orphan, who was at the primary school when the lorry broke down. He was very bright, and when he finished primary in the new school, he got very good grades, and we sponsored him to go to secondary school. He worked very hard there as well and did very well. And now he's in the last year of nursing at a good nursing college. And I also have to tell you about baby Rose. She was brought to our children's home with her brother. They were living alone in a hut with their mother who was dying of AIDS. When they arrived, Rose was a year old. She was suffering from malnutrition and weighed only 5 kilos. Her little legs were so thin that we thought she'd never walk. And she never ever smiled. Now, 1 year later, she's running around laughing and smiling. Since she came here, she's changed completely into a healthy, happy child.
So Adelante Africa has really changed their lives?
Yes, it's changed their lives. But it's also changed the lives of the people who work for Adelante Africa. Most of us feel it's the most satisfying thing we've ever done. Have a look at the photos and videos on our website. It's www.adelanteafrica.org. Maybe it will change your life too.
2.15 1.
Jane, how long have you been working with Adelante Africa?
2.
Tell us what Adelante Africa has been doing since 2010.
3.
The children's home has been running since 2012.
4.
We've also been building water tanks to collect rainwater.
5.
Since then, we've started 11 more FAL groups.
6.
Since she came here, she's changed completely.
2.16
They've known each other for 10 years.
Julia's had that bag since she was at university.
How long have you worked here?
Since 1996.
How long has your brother had his motorbike?
For about a year.
2.17 1.
How long have you been learning English?
Nick has been working here since April.
They've been going out together for about 3 years.
2.
Your eyes are red. Have you been crying?
No, I've been chopping onions.
2.18. 1.
How long have you been learning French?
2.
I've been learning French for 3 years.
3.
How long has it been raining?
4.
It's been raining since lunchtime.
2.19. 1.
It's snowing. How long has it been snowing?
2.
I'm learning Russian. How long have you been learning Russian?
3.
Susan is working in Italy. How long has Susan been working in Italy?
4.
John is looking for a job. How long has John been looking for a job?
5.
They're living with Mary's parents. How long have they been living with Mary's parents?
6.
I'm going to salsa classes. How long have you been going to salsa classes?
7.
It's raining. How long has it been raining?
8.
John is going out with Emily. How long has John been going out with Emily?
2.20. 1.
Was Lisa's father angry about the car accident?
Yes, he was furious.
2.
Is Oliver's flat small?
Yes, it's really tiny. Just a bedroom and a sitting room.
3.
Are you afraid of flying?
Yes, I'm terrified. I never fly anywhere.
4.
There was an interesting documentary about whales on TV last night.
Yes, I thought it was fascinating.
5.
Are you very hungry?
I'm starving. I haven't eaten all day.
6.
Is your parents' house big?
It's huge. It has 7 bedrooms.
7.
Was it hot in Dubai?
It was boiling, 45 degrees.
8.
Was Jack's kitchen dirty?
It was filthy. It took us 3 hours to clean it.
9.
Are your parents pleased about the wedding?
They're delighted. In fact, they want to pay for everything.
10.
Was the film funny?
It was hilarious. We laughed the whole way through.
11.
Are you sure you locked the door?
I'm positive. I remember turning the key.
12.
Were you surprised to hear that Ted and Sonia have broken up?
I was absolutely amazed. I never thought it would happen.
2.21. 1.
What do you eat to cheer yourself up when you're feeling sad?
I love roast potatoes, baked potatoes. They're warm, buttery, nice olive oil. They make me feel good.
Does it make you feel better?
Yeah, usually it does. I think they're quite refreshing, warm. When you're feeling down, I think they're the perfect remedy.
2.
How often do you eat out?
Well, my wife would probably like me to eat out a little bit less, but probably about 2 to 3 times a week.
What kind of places do you go to?
You know, it always kind of depends. I think that people like to eat about 3 or 4 different restaurants in their town, no matter what. And it's usually one of those 3 or 4, usually pizza, Mexican, or Asian.
Why do you like these kinds of restaurants?
I guess part of it is it's a type of food that you can't normally prepare at home, and so it's something a little bit different. Otherwise, it's just tasty.
3.
Do you have brothers and sisters?
I have step brothers and sisters, 2 stepsisters and 1 stepbrother.
Do you get on with them well?
Yes, we didn't grow up together, but we're now all adults and we get on really well.
4.
Have you ever won any money, for example, in a lottery?
I won many years ago £1,000, which was amazing.
What did you do with it?
We went on an unplanned long weekend break in the Malverns in England, which was absolutely gorgeous.
5.
Have you ever taken part in a charity event?
I have, yes. I ran the London Marathon, I think about 8 years ago now, for cancer research.
How much money did you raise?
About £6,500.